Welcome to the midweek edition of The Conversation here on Lagos Television. I am Abimbola Bello.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I am Ajibola Ojeshola.
Good morning and welcome. I am Joy.
Welcome back to the show, Joy.
Thank you.
Yeah, how was your off day?
I was sleeping all through. The bad
so
headache.
She's feeling what?
she slept all through.
Sleeping
Oh,
all
okay.
through.
Was there
And you
power
ate?
supply?
No power. Oh.
And you ate?
She ate.
now.
And the weather has
If
been...
there's no light, we eat food now.
And the weather
Keep our
has
body
been...
together.
And you have
The
eaten
weather
this
has
morning?
On German school. The weather has been a bit favorable, so I'm sure that you were able to catch some rest. Okay, welcome back to the show, Jibola. Ronaldo yesterday tried to redeem his image.
Abimbola. Look at the number of goals that he scored.
How many too?
Yes, now.
Look at this one saying two. What is?
And
when
that's
you
the
remove two
only
from
player
five,
in the history of football that would have scored at every World Cup. 6 World Cup back to back. When will Messi be able to do that?
Don't worry, it's okay. People can use old age to do GOT. We are fine.
The older the wine.
The older the wine.
Yeah.
I hear you. Let him come and try this next year at 42. Anyway, of course, last night, I don't know what happened. A lot of people predicted that it was going to be thrashing for Ghana. But of course, the English team were unable to score. And so it ended goalless. Okay, so Colonial Master Plus.
And from the look of things, I think Ghana will qualify for the knockout stage. Egypt.
Let's say I'm Morocco.
Morocco, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Morocco is sure. Morocco is sure.
All right. So let's say
Well, the likes of Tunisia, I'm sure they would have packed their bags now.
why didn't they sack the second coach? So maybe they sack coach one after how
That
many
coach
matches?
should have been left alone to finish the
don't know,
World Cup. It
sometimes
was
the
already
way-
there.
Yeah, the way we behave, reactionary. But then let's say, of course, other round of matches will begin again today, and we will start sifting the boys from the men.
But Abimbola, which of the countries do you think might win the World Cup so far?
I don't want to predict, but I know that there's still a lot of let's finish this round.
Okay.
And then when we get to round of 16, maybe I might be able to predict.
All right.
Let's come back to Joy's realm and take our news points for today. Ajibola, let's start with you.
Okay, State Police Senate votes today as Tinubu transmits bill to National Assembly. Retired military and police chiefs have expressed different views on the extent of powers governors should wield under the proposed policing structure, warning that while decentralized policing system could strengthen security, adequate safeguards must be put in place to prevent abuse. Their positions come amid renewed calls by state governors for greater constitutional authority over security operations within their states and guaranteed funding arrangement for the proposed state policing system. The Punch report on Tuesday that the state governors were seeking greater constitutional authority over security operations within their domains and guaranteed funding arrangement for the proposed state police services, according to a report of a high-level strategic meeting with the Nigeria Governors Forum. Also on Tuesday, President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, rallied his colleagues to ensure full attendance as the National Assembly prepares for what could become one of the most consequential constitutional votes in Nigeria's democratic history, the proposed amendment to establish state police services across the Federation on Wednesday, which is today. Akpabio's move followed President Bola Tinubu's formal transmission of a constitution alteration bill seeking the creation of state police services. The proposed amendment is expected to be debated when the Senate reconvenes today. Commenting on the development, retired Brigadier General Peter Arrow said the state police should be viewed as a deliberate security reform rather than a political project, arguing that governors must be given sufficient powers to address local security challenges while operating within clearly stated, defined limits. State police should not be treated as a political slogan, but as a structured security reform. By design, the extension of state authority funded and managed at that level with clear responsibility for local safety. So that's it. It appears we are more than serious now for the creation of state police, and there's a bill before members of the National Assembly. Hopefully when they sit today, they will look at the bill sent to them by Mr. President and, of course, begin to harmonize things in a way that the creation of state police services will be accommodated in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But then the clause remains the fact that people are beginning to raise eyebrows as to the ability of some governors to be able to manage the creation of state police. Some of them have the tendency to want to abuse the creation of the state policing system.
Well, maybe the only thing will be for the Senate or the National Assembly to put a caveat at the end of the day. But I like what you said as the fact that this is beginning to show a lot of seriousness now that Mr. President has sent this bill to the National Assembly. It means that, you know, now all of the T's or some of the T's have been crossed and the I's dotted. There is now a guideline to be worked with or to be worked on. So the only thing will be for the National Assembly to then look at maybe the provisions of the bill and look at how, you know, and ensure that there are no overlapping responsibilities, ensure that there is no clash anywhere, distinctive responsibilities between the national or the federal police and then the state police, and the kind of control that governors will also have on these entities. And I think a lot of things will still need to play out when it comes to the welfare, when it comes to the procurement of uniforms, when it comes to other things that will actually make them work, because bearing of firearms is also going to be very important.
Yeah, so who will give them the license to operate?
So there's still a lot of things to be considered, but at least first thing first, there's a bill. And if there's a bill, at least there are provisions of the bill, and then both the National Assembly and then the state assemblies, because again, this will still be domesticated to the states. Definitely. And find how all of these things will work. But first thing first, there's a bill. There's something to work with. There's a better understanding of where that will now come as to where we're going. So whether or not this will be done within ample time or this will still drag, we cannot say. But again, it depends on what Mr. President has also said, as he asked the National Assembly to give a speedy consideration
of the bill
or what exactly are we dealing with. But I guess when they reconvene today, better understanding will definitely come out.
One vital point that you raised, Abimbola, the issue of welfare. We see what the federal government is struggling with the federal police as we speak. And funding will be very, very key for this policing system to be very effective, so that we won't have a replica of what we're battling with at the federal level.
Well said. Absolutely. Right, let's go to the second story this morning. The second story is on alleged wiretapping. El-Rufai to file no case submission as DSS closes case. And the story says the Department of State Services, the DSS, has closed its case against former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai in the ongoing alleged wiretapping trial before the Federal High Court in Abuja. At the resumed hearing on Tuesday, the prosecuting counsel, Oluwole Aladedoye, informed the court that the prosecution would not be calling further witnesses in the matter, prompting the formal closure of the DSS case. Following the developments, defense counsel Paul Erokoro told the court that the defense intends to file a no-case submission, arguing that the prosecution has failed to establish sufficient evidence against the former governor. The defense subsequently sought 2 weeks to file the application, while the prosecution requested 2 weeks to respond and also applied for a variation of some of the bail conditions earlier granted to El-Rufai, describing them as stringent and difficult to meet. The defense argued that the bail terms were too stringent, particularly the requirement for level 17 civil servants with properties in Maitama or Asokoro, as well as verification and attestation letters from the Kaduna State Traditional Council. However, the prosecution opposed the request, insisting that qualified public officers who meet the conditions exist, and urging the courts to refuse the application. Delivering the ruling, Justice Joyce Abdulmalik declines the request to vary the bail conditions, ruling that there are civil servants who own properties at the said location. The court subsequently adjourns the case to 22nd September for the filing of the no-case submission and continuation of the trial. Does this mean that between now and September, somebody will still remain
in the custody of
the custody? So how come it is now that they are saying that there's no level 17 officer? that can meet the bill requirement or those conditions. Why? It just means that there's nobody willing to stick their neck.
For him?
For him. I say do good.
Abimbola, this is going to be a very long journey for Nasir El-Rufai.
So in the whole of Kaduna State,
Nobody.
there is no level 17
that can
officer
vouch for
that
him.
can actually vouch for him, a former governor. It
Abimbola,
just means that...
My own case is this there. It's going to be a very long journey for Nasir El-Rufai. And I'm not a prophet of doom. There is every possibility that Nasir El-Rufai, the almighty former minister of the FCC, the almighty former governor of Kaduna State, will be monitoring the 2027 elections from the custody of the security agents, because people are not willing to stick out their neck, and the bail conditions must be met.
So again, so we are in June. So we have July, we have August, we have
September.
And then September 22nd, 3 months. So maybe before then, maybe somebody would come up. But again, the judge said she declines the request for the, and saying that those conditions are not even stringent. What do you mean by you cannot find somebody? So maybe before then, they would have found somebody, or maybe by September 22nd, a well-meaning level 17 officer, maybe there would have been promotion.
And even when the bail condition is
17.
granted, Abimbola, some other cases will still come up.
Absolutely.
So it is one trouble today, another tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, say the trouble first before you see it. Well, let's talk about what we can see at the moment. Jay, let's take your story.
Over here in Lagos shuts market over attack on sanitation officers. The Lagos State government on Tuesday shut down the Oshodi resettlement market following an attack on officials of the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps during an enforcement operation. The closure was announced in a post shared on the official X handle of the State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokumbo Wahab. According to him, the decision followed violent resistance by traders who allegedly attacked enforcement officers and obstructed their duties. He wrote, and I quote, "Oshodi resettlement market, Oshodi, has been shut down. Traders at the market attacked officers and personnel of the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps, prevented them from arresting hoodlums and beggars who vandalized the agency's operational vehicles during an enforcement operation earlier that day." And the commissioner did not state when the market will be reopened. I mean, why would anyone want to interfere with the enforcement agents doing their job? I mean, if these people have vandalized the vehicles of these officers and then they want to arrest, why should the traders now hinder them from doing that? Now, what that has done is that has hampered their businesses. Nobody can trade or sell anything at that market anymore. Well, the commissioner did not state when the market will be reopened.
They are on their own.
Right?
They probably need to write an undertaking before the market is opened. Again, like you said, maybe you were mild by using the word interference. I mean, on no account should you even, humiliate anybody. And so if these are law enforcement agencies, and then you feel that for some reason they are not doing what they should do, that's why there are cameras. You could have recorded them.
There are better ways to do things.
Yes, there are better ways to do this. Now, your own source of livelihood has been put on hold until you can behave in a standard manner. Because if you behave untowards, not only yourself, but to another person, then if you're dealt with, then, I mean, nobody should complain. So there are channels by which you can actually report government officials if they are being uncivil to you as a citizen, because we must also understand that it is the taxpayers' money that is being used to pay their salaries. Absolutely. So if you must complain, then you need to complain appropriately and not take law into your own hands by attacking the officials of the Environmental Sanitation Corps. So now, operational vehicles were damaged. Who would replace those vehicles? Your market now has been shut down. Up until when? You will come and explain why, because as far as government is concerned, you actually beat government. Yes. So now you have to now do the needful, but I'm sure that they probably also need to write an undertaking.
Well, it was just a case of penny wise, pound foolish. Now the market has been shut. Now they are going to repair the vehicles of government. Now they will charge to court. So there are so many baggages of trouble hanging around their neck. You are beating an official of Lagos State government in uniform.
Well,
that's a crime.
That's how it is.
The fact that you are Oloja or Agberu or what is it called does not mean you should behave that way. Lagos is not a banana republic where you can just behave the way you like. And I'll go back to you as usual, Abimbola. There should always be consequences for bad behavior.
Yes,
so these are the consequences.
Bad behavior. Everybody would have.
The market is shut for 6 months. That's so it will be.
I said indefinitely. And you know what indefinitely means? Indefinitely
There's no time, stipulated time.
Anyway,
And I trust the Honorable Commissioner for the environment.
Until you comply, until your head is straight before you know what is happening. But again, so compliance level, if they come, come to some sense of reasoning and also, apologize, do all the needful and say that, let us go, we'll sin no more. Perhaps, something can happen. Right, let's quickly take a quick break. When we return, we'll take a look at the column for today.